Is this thing live? Let's see, it's my first time doing this. I'm gonna check whether it's working. All right, it looks like we're live. Hey everybody, welcome to my first live stream. Gonna do a little bit of weekend work here, looking at some stock charts. I'm gonna try and make this like a Sunday or Saturday afternoon thing on occasion. But let's get into it. So on Friday we had a pretty nasty day in the SPY. However, it's only down about 2% from the all-time high, so that's really not much of a correction. That's just kind of a pullback from the all-time high. A lot of stocks were down. A lot of leaders, like we look at Nvidia, nasty day. You know, actually, let's look at the S&P 500. Yeah, you can see a lot of these stocks were down pretty hard. Oh, even like Visa, you know, Amazon, Google. Some stocks that I was holding, like Hood. We had a little bit of a breakout. Now it's coming down here and it looks like it's breaking this uptrend a little bit. Although not quite here when you look at the daily chart. Uh-oh, is this thing on delay? Okay, yeah, it seems to be working. Alright, so I have this custom application. What happened to my custom app? Okay, so I have my own journaling app where I take notes on what the stocks are doing. It's my little stock journal program. And I have a series of watch lists. And I just want to go through my watch list and see what's changed and what's updated, and then we'll set the levels that I want to set my alerts on, and we'll kind of see where things are going from there. So here's Expedia. This one looks like it was kind of breaking out. You see that it had this resistance here at about 200, and it broke this after reporting earnings. Looks like they're doing their first ever dividend. But along with the rest of the market, this little breakout here has pulled back. It's not really to a completely clean level because, as you can see here, that back in 2022, it peaked above this resistance area and then fell back down. This could happen again because look at where it's come from in 2024. You know, it came down from these lows of 88. It's over doubled, so I know it might struggle to continue going through there. I was holding some shares. I sold a few around 205 because I was kind of worried about this, but I don't know, given this candle it might bounce back a little bit. I'm still holding on to a few of those shares. Let me see how many I got right now. Yeah, my Expedia, I've got 10 shares of that. My cost basis is 201, so it's a little bit underwater. All right, another stock that I've been watching closely is Zillow. This one, like if housing picks up again, should be pretty good. But it's kind of pulled back. It's been a pretty good ride. I started getting in here in like the low 60s because I was thinking with the interest rates going down, that should help the housing market. But it looks like the housing market is still might still have some problems ahead. So I'm not too sure about Zillow. It's actually one of my big holdings now. It was kind of a bet that things will, the volume will pick up in housing. However, long term, I think they're very well positioned for real estate, especially with what's going on with the realtor commissions. You know, they're the one big tech in housing. So I think it's a good long-term portfolio holding, but it kind of might struggle in the near term. Okay, so this is DraftKings here. This one kind of broke this long-running downtrend line here after reporting earnings. They had kind of an earnings beat. Revenue missed by a little bit. But it's got a lot of buy ratings from analysts. So that is a positive thing for the stock. A lot of times when you have something like this with a downtrend break, it'll pull back right to the downtrend area. And, you know, if it comes down here to like sub 45, it might be a good point to load up on some shares. That's what I'm going to be looking for as a trader. So I got my alerts out on this one. I might put in some orders there so that you could pick up a few extra shares to what I'm holding. Yeah, right now I've got 170 shares in it, but my cost basis is 51. I had it set up to buy this breakout here, but it didn't continue. We're getting this pullback. I mean, right now we're in a 2% correction. If we fall like 10% on the SPY, that'll bring us down to like about this 560 area. Very well possible, but I think it might take us a little time to get there. What we'll probably see is after this really long down day rally, stocks are probably going to be a little bit lower at the open tomorrow, but I have the feeling they'll bounce back. And it's going to be really telling whether the bounce back is going to be sold or not. They'll kind of set the tone for where we're going from here. I think a lot of people are probably going to bail out if it starts bouncing back. But yeah, I mean, the market's had a good run. 2025 might be a little bit tough for it, and you'll probably have some volatility. You know, another interesting thing to look at would be TLT. TLT, it kind of trades the inverse of interest rates. Uh-oh. Darn, I was working on this website. So let's take a look at kind of where interest rates are right now. This is a yield curve. It was inverted for a long time over the last couple of years, but since October or so, it started to uninvert. So it's kind of a more of a normal yield curve right now, where you have the shorter term durations lower than what the 10-year and the 20-year are. But let's kind of look at where the 10-year is going. So here you see that inversion on this long-term chart. The 10-year, let me see if I could draw on this. Oh, that drawing program working. Yeah. Whoop. Here's drawing. Yeah, so I don't know. Is this like a flag where the interest rates are going to go higher from here. It's kind of hard to tell. There's a lot of weird stuff going on with government bonds right now. All this stuff with the Doge department probably could affect what the long-term interest rates are. You know, what Trump's going to do with the debt. I think there's a lot of uncertainty here. Interest rates could continue to rise. They might fall. So far, the Fed's been cutting rates, but the long-term part of the yield curve has gone up, and that's what's hurt TLT and why it's kind of kept to go down. But we see this downtrend kind of breaking here. I don't know, TLT, it probably could go either way. I'm not really interested in taking a position in this right now. So another stock that I'm watching is the Trade Desk. This one really got destroyed after reporting an earnings report. Now, what the Trade Desk does is online advertising. So like Netflix, Disney Plus, and even like websites, like if you're doing running ads on your website, like on my USTreasuryYieldCurve.com website, I have ads there. Some of those are served by the Trade Desk. So they're a really big name in online ads. They have an ad platform. They got the AI buzzwords going on with it. But they had some internal restructuring things going on, and it kind of hurt their earnings. And the analysts really, well, not so much the analysts, but a lot of people turned on the stock because it had a very high valuation and high expectations, and having a miss like this was a pretty big deal. But I mean, look how far it's down. This is the sort of thing that might be setting up for a dead cat bounce. I've had orders in to buy up some shares as it's been going down. And as you can see, it was kind of trending down, and then with the rest of the market, it kind of accelerated its down move. That's usually when I think what things tend to look like when they're bottoming. I mean, look here, we had down so many days. I think Monday next week, probably a good candidate for a bounce. What happened here kind of reminds me a lot with what happened with Cloudflare. Their earnings were kind of not what the market was expecting. So, you know, they had this big rally up and then it pulled back, but over time, there's the optimism came back, and then look, it went back up to these highs. So I think a similar thing could happen with Trade Desk, where, you know, once all this blows over and they get back on their feet, we'll probably see the stock back at 100 pretty easily, or at least 90s. So I think that could be a pretty good holding. Now, let's go back to my watch list here and look at some of the other things going on. Accenture, similar downtrend break sort of thing over the long term. I don't like this one because it fell back below the downtrend break zone. I consider that to be bearish. And then Accenture, they've got a lot of government contracts. With what's going on with Doge, puts a lot of uncertainty out there for them. But it's one that I'm watching. Okay, I got Nokia on my breakout list here. This one kind of like BlackBerry. So BlackBerry was a really beaten down stock. They're kind of transforming their business right now. And they're getting into like an Internet of Things sort of stuff. So BlackBerry's sort of reinventing itself, getting away from those old phones that you think about from the early 2000s. And that's really caused a lot of excitement in the stock over the last quarter. I think a similar thing might be going on with Nokia, where they're getting involved in AI too. And they hired a new CEO recently. Let's look up Nokia news. Who was it? They poached a really high profile guy from another company. Can't think of the name of it. Actually, you know what? I'll look that up in my notes. Nokia. Huh. I thought I made a note about that. Where's the news that they got that executive? Oh yeah, here it is. They got this guy from Intel. And a lot of times, you know, with like CanSlim, you get new management. That could be a catalyst for change in a company. So, you know, this might be another turnaround story like BlackBerry. I've got a small speculative position in that. Okay, going down my list here. Oh, I have Cisco on my breakout list. That's interesting. Wow. This is one that I kind of forgot about. If it pulls back with the rest of the market, this might be an interesting thing to buy here at the breakout zone. I'm going to put another... Okay, it's below that level. I'm going to put another alert there. D now. This was breaking out. What did D now do? Let's see here. D now. Oh yeah, this is an oil, liquid natural gas company. Here's D now. Yeah, so it's an oil service company. But this chart's interesting because it seems to be breaking out here. Oh, and by the way, when I was talking about the trade desk, another thing to watch here is look at how far this is on the relative strength index. Like by a lot of measures here, it seems oversold, and it's got this huge volume spike. So that's another reason I think the trade desk is ripe for a bounce right here. Something I'm keeping an eye on. Okay, Quest Diagnostics. This one is in healthcare. They do all sorts of lab tests. If you've ever gone to the doctor and had a blood test done, there's a good chance that Quest Diagnostics did your blood work. This one seems to be breaking out here. It had the resistance zone at 160. The all-time high is 174. And one interesting thing about it is even though the market had a really bad day on Friday, this one was still up. So there's a lot of momentum here through this breakout, and I have some in my IRA, and I'll probably add on if there's any pullback. Okay, so Auto Nation. This one's a car sales related company. Car auctions. It's auctions, right, that they do. Yeah, auto retail. Oh yeah, they got a website, like a search website for if you want to buy a car. And this one, it has a nice steady climb to it. It looks like one of those companies that are just consistently beating expectations. And it has a very nice long-term trend. I think it's continuing that, but given the state of the market, if we get a pullback in the overall market, we'll probably get a little bit of a pullback there. Interesting. It didn't really hit my... I had an order to get out of that, but oh wow. So I'm holding some shares of this company, and I put my orders in ahead of time. So I had this order queued up for $199, and it hit $198. So I didn't get my exit, my first profit-taking exit on that. But that's okay. I'm okay holding on to it. Okay, now this Watts Water Technology, which is a water fluid control system company for municipalities. They make like a lot of I think like sewer and municipal type stuff. This one is breaking out. They had a really good earnings release. I've got this one in my IRA, and I'm just going to be a holder of that. Let's see, where do I have my alerts? I don't have any upside alerts on it. I'll keep tabs on it, see how it's going. But, you know, if the market pulls back, sometimes these breakouts tend to fail. If we have a really rough 2025, we're probably going to see a lot of these all-time high breakouts fail like this. But that doesn't mean that they're going to fail over the long term. It just means that they're going to take a little bit of consolidation to make their next move. Okay, let's look at this bank one. I'm not too interested in banks right now. The only bank I would probably be interested in are like the big banks like JP Morgan Chase. And I kind of missed the boat on that one. I used to have this one in my IRA. I bought it back here when it broke out, and I was really quick to take profits. I got out of it, and I missed a big move into the 200s. Now, coconut water. This one is interesting. I don't like this the way it's kind of curling down here on the 1 hour chart. But I'm keeping an eye on it. Let's see here. If it comes down to like 35, I'll put on an alert there. I might be interested in buying some. Look, we have earnings though coming up next week, something to keep an eye on. So I'm going to keep a little box on that. Given that the market might be changing regimes right now, we've had this really long bull market run here, and this little peak to the all-time high might be a point where it rejects and then it pulls back, and we have a little 10% correction. Something like that could send cocoa down for a while. But I think if we get that type of correction, it's probably going to be a good buying opportunity for a lot of stocks. Okay, so now we've got the Intercontinental Exchange, ticker symbol ICE. All of these have been doing really well. I have a little bit of NDAQ, which is NASDAQ. CME is also one that's breaking out here to new highs. Same story. I have a little bit of cautious optimism about these, but these charts look very good, and I'm keeping an eye on them. Okay, paychecks. This one's also going up to all-time highs. Man, I really wish I held on to the shares I had 10 years ago when it had a 4% dividend yield. But I'm not sure how much more this one has to go. Okay. I have State Street on my list, another financial company. I don't really like State Street that much because it's kind of range bound. Let me see here. I'll probably move this alert up a little bit because it has resistance there just above 100. These resistance points, they're often not really hard numbers, but they're just kind of zones where it runs into resistance. So like this area just above 100 can't break over 100. But State Street doesn't really interest me because it's not one of those stocks I see going like 200 unless something big changes in the industry. Honest Company. This is a Jeremy Lefebvre favorite. Something I'm watching. I have a few shares of this one. Looks like we have like a downtrend set up here. It's a little bit sloppy, but kind of keep an eye on this downtrend line. And I'm going to set alert if this breaks out. They got earnings next week as well. So let me set my little earnings calendar here. That is on which day? 2/26. Okay, 2/26. After the bell, we have Honest Earnings. And was Cocoa the same day? Oh, that was 2/25. Oh wait, 2/26 pre-market. Okay. Those are ones I'm interested in. Putting them on my calendar. It's not my stonks calendar. All right. Oh man, now next on my list is this Marvell Technology. So both Marvell and Micron, both of these chip-related companies, although they make different types of chips, these charts are just really sloppy. I don't like them. I was kind of in and out of Micron for a loss. Wasn't happy about that one. It's just whips and gaps so much. It's really hard to trade that because you don't know which way it's going to be opening up in the next morning. You could be up and then you wake up next morning and it's down. Same thing with Marvell. I think this one is a very sloppy chart. I'm just going to wait on this one. Maybe revisit it another time. Okay. Analog Devices. This is another downtrend break as well as breaking out to the all-time highs. I kind of messed up this one because I saw that they had a good earnings release. I thought running from 200 to 220 something was pretty far for it to run. I didn't expect that day that it would continue the breakout. So I don't have those shares anymore. But I think it's one of those that could probably come down. So I'm keeping an eye on this. If it comes back to this 230 zone, I might be interested in getting back in. Alliance Bernstein, wealth management company. They just reported earnings, and the stock's not really hammered, but it's not going anywhere. Not really interested in this one. Axta, this one they make like paint coatings for vehicles. It's kind of breaking out, but I think this is one that's probably going to be a really long, slow breakout. Going to require some consolidation, but I'm keeping an eye on it. Amba, this is they make video, I think like video processing chips. It's steadily breaking out. We got earnings coming up on 2/26. Yeah, it looks like it's an after the bell. So we got a lot of big earnings coming out in 2/26. Gonna be keeping an eye on that one. Now, if we're in a type of market regime where these tech companies are just not popular and we're going to defensive companies, this one, even if it reports good earnings, may not go anywhere. I mean, if you look on Friday, we had like a lot of defensive companies like utilities and stuff take off. There's Southern Company. Even Verizon held up pretty good. So we've got like these dividend yielding companies they're about cash flow kind of running now. So there's certainly, I think, a rotation of money away from like the high volatility tech stocks. All right, let's see here. It's TPX. Oh, Tempur Sealy, the mattress company. This is another interesting breakout. Earnings on 2/20. I think the dog has to go out. Let's see here. So I'm going to note that one. TPX. And check on their earnings on wait, but we've already passed that. Oh, did this one get... That date doesn't seem right. Because it's 2/23 today. Is this one not trading? Oh, that's weird. This chart doesn't seem to be working right. Why did this chart stop at 2/24? Oh, they changed their ticker symbol to SGI. Somni Group now. Interesting. Okay. So that one's trading on... What? Yeah, SGI. Oh, that's weird. This, okay, 2/21. Okay. The Thinkorswim hasn't connected the charts yet. I'm going to remove that one from my watch list. got a lot of these stocks on this list. I'm just keeping tabs on these breakouts. So ARES, Ares Management, they're another wealth management company. This one, Warren Buffett. I read about Warren Buffett taking an interest in this one, so it kind of caught my attention that way. Looks like this one's ready to pull back as well. I'll just put an alert on it for where it pulls back. Oh, you know what? I think I might be getting this one mixed up with ARK. Oh yeah, this is the one that Warren Buffett was talking about. Let me see. Oh, these companies I think are related. Different classes of stock. That's what it is. Ares Management. So here's Ares Management. And then ARCC, Ares Capital. Okay, I'm going to have to do some research to figure out the difference between these. But anyway, from a technical standpoint, that one got on my radar. Okay, Roblox. Okay, the earnings were disappointing. Yeah, I don't think this stock's going anywhere. Not of interest for now. I'm going to put a little box of alerts on it. DMRC. This company does like a digital verification sort of thing. DMRC. Yeah, identification solutions, like validation of I don't know exactly what their business is. But anyway, so this breakout caught my attention, but it pulled back because it was breaking out to a 52-week high here. Here's where it's breaking out, but it fell back into that zone. Not of interest anymore. Okay, so we got this Ralph Lauren. This one continues to break out to an all-time high. I'm not interested in it because I don't want to chase a stock like that. Okay, Bloom Energy. Not sure which way this one's going to go. They have earnings on the 27th. Okay. Next, BCF. Bain Capital. Oh, I like how this one's curling up. And then they've got earnings coming up on the 27th as well. Something to watch. This could be interesting because the way that this chart is kind of curling like that, it looks like it wants to reach 20. Okay, this grinder app here, hitting strong resistance here at the 18 area. I'm just kind of watching that one. Had some gains, and I was kind of in and out of this trade. I did a video a while back on a list of potential breakout stocks, and I caught it when it was like breaking out around here. But it was kind of a choppy breakout. Okay. CF was one that I was interested in. This one's kind of not really at the all-time high or 52-week highs, but kind of in the middle of the range here. So a lot of these stocks, they will set up after kind of like peaking out at a certain point here. Looks kind of like a head and shoulders almost. They'll consolidate in this middle area here, forming a new resistance zone. And then sometimes they break out, and it looks like it might be waiting to recover or run to the highs again. But those are kind of prone to failure. And another example of that was here, American Homes for Rent, where it did something similar, where you had this big peak, it consolidates in the center, tries to break out, but those kind of breakouts are unreliable. Let's see, was ALHC one that was sort of like that? Nah, this one's more of a coming off of a bottom. JNX, biotech. Yeah, this one was pretty crazy that day when it spiked up here, but faded off. Which kind of makes me think of like I know a lot of people were trading Summit Therapeutics a while back. I kind of messed up trading this one. I bought it here, saw it was coming back down. I thought it was going to fade, and I ended up cutting losses at 20. But it's come back. That would have been hard to predict. Here's another one of those stocks that went crazy for a while. Everybody wanted it. Now nobody wants it. And it looks like it's fading off. This Credo Tech, I forgot what's Credo do. This was a popular ticker a while ago. Oh, it's like a Chinese Ethernet stuff. I forgot what the news was on this one that was driving it. Was it an AI thing? Yeah, everybody was putting out like buy ratings on it. I forgot what was driving this stock. But this is one that went crazy. Everybody wanted it for a while. And look how far away it got from the 13 EMA. When you see, I have my own indicator here called distance from 13 EMA on the daily chart. When that gets above 40, that's when a stock's pretty well overbought. And then they either consolidate and go a little bit higher, or sometimes you get some of a pullback. And you kind of did get a little bit of a pullback there, so it kind of peaked out here. And you know, if you were quick, you probably could have like shorted it here 73 and got to 64. But sometimes they bounce too. However, this one seems to be one that's cooled off. Unfortunately, the news service that I've got here, Trade the News, doesn't seem to have a whole lot of information. Let's see if it has anything on that. 127 candle. No, they don't have any news on it. Interesting. Something must have happened that day. January 27. Oh, they did a raise. They raised more stock, and that's what sent it down there. Okay. Oh no, wait. Was it a raise? Looks like they did another raise. Oh, it was AI related. That's what it was. Yeah, this company, they make Ethernet cables and switches used in the data centers. That's what it is. So when the DeepSeek came out, that must have hit them along with the DeepSeek news. Not very interesting. All right, Home Depot. This is another interesting breakout chart. It's been pushing through here this 420 level, but it's kind of struggling to get through it. I don't know. I have some shares in my IRA, and I'm just being patient with this one. It's hard to tell which way Home Depot will go because there's a lot of macroeconomics that can't be predicted there. Okay, Kite Realty. Okay, this office space REIT not doing so well. Had a failed breakout, but I'm going to keep an eye on this. HHH. Oh, Howard Hughes Holdings. Yeah, this is the one that Bill Ackman's trying to buy. I'm kind of surprised because he's trying to buy it in at like 85 and keeps giving offers for this company. So Bill Ackman sees value in this, but for some reason the stock keeps going down. I'm not exactly sure why, because usually when somebody's trying to acquire a company, that puts a premium on its valuation. Copart. It's another vehicle marketing company, probably similar to like AutoNation or something like that. I was watching that one. I put that on my list on 11/22. Yeah, so I was watching the breakout on that day. Okay, this is a sports equipment company. I'm unfamiliar with this brand, but they've been really taking off since the IPO. It's just something I'm watching, but I don't see any setups here. Okay, Wix. All right, this stock doesn't really interest me with that chart. Nope. Okay, now next up is Planet Fitness. I like this breakout here. I think it's probably a good long-term holding. I didn't take any profits at 110. I have this in my kind of my longer term holding portfolio. I'm just going to hold on to this one. I got earnings on 225. Okay, so Plant Fitness, looked at that one. Next on my list is, what does CAE do? Not sure why I have this one on here. It's aviation company. Oh, I think this is one that's kind of like ACHR. Yeah, it's one of those, or is it? No. Civil Aviation and Defense. I'm not too familiar with this from a fundamental perspective, but this chart kind of caught my attention. See that downtrend line breakout? Missed that. It's funny, I did put it on my list on 11/18, but I didn't chase it. I was a few days late to it. I just reported earnings. Okay. ACVA, another auto auction company. Disappointing earnings. I'm just setting alerts on these because the way that I'm handling these is these charts are kind of interest to me, but I don't really see like a good breakout setup or anything in them yet, but I'm keeping an eye out for that. Church and Dwight, the makers of OxyClean. Not sure about that one. But the PG one, see how the Procter & Gamble keeps kind of like pushing through the all-time high breakout zone, and you've got kind of an inverse head and shoulders or like a double bottom here. It looks almost like an inverse head and shoulders that's starting to form. Yeah, there's the other shoulder. That one, if the economy or if the stock market goes down, this might be like a defensive company that money switches to. So I think this is a pretty good holding. I've got some. Okay, industrial, Ingersoll Rand, not interesting to me right now. Yeah, it's recording that breakout there, but that on 11 November didn't go anywhere. But I will set an alert here for when this recovers. Okay, Lowe's Insurance Company. This one's kind of another steady climber with a nice long-term trend here. Just keep an alert if it breaks either way. Canceling that right extension. This one might come down here to that little crossover area and bounce. We'll see. Might be a good bounce one. But I've got a lot of uncertainty about the market after Friday. We might be changing into a different market regime. Okay, Twilio. Looks like that one's fallen out of favor after the earnings report. Putting a box around it. Electronic Arts. Wow, that one really tanked. Well, if you scooped it out at the bottom, you're probably up nicely here from 116 to 130, and that's the kind of trade that I'm hoping for with like the trade desk, something like this to happen. Okay, Reddit. That's another one I've been watching. So this one's cooling off. A lot of these hot tech names are cooling off right now, which is probably a healthy thing. Palantir, I actually was short a few shares, but I got out. I missed a lot of the move. Just made a little bit off of that one. CL. I forgot what OmniCell makes. Oh, it's like a dispensing tool in pharmacies. It's kind of a small cap. 1.84 billion market cap. So this is like a pharmacy tech company, but it keeps going down, down, down. Let's see, I put this one on my radar on 1030, and that breakout failed. So this one doesn't really interest me that much. Not unless it breaks this downtrend. Okay, on watch. F5. They sell Nginx related products. This is a nice breakout, but kind of missed it. Didn't think there was that much demand for Nginx right now. But just kind of watching it here. Alright, so I'm going to set an alert up on that all-time high area to see if it continues to break out. And then we have this area here, probably retrace back to there. But I don't really see a setup in that one. Tapestry. Damn. I got off the boat here. When they had that deal with, what was it? LVMH fall through. I bought, and then it started falling back. And I thought, oh no, this one's not going to go. So I got shaken out by it. But this was, look, it doubled from where it was. Darn, I missed out on this one. But I'm going to keep an eye on it if it pulls back. If we have a really nasty correction in the market, this one might be one worth buying. All right. Western Digital. That one disappointed me a while ago. Back in 2022, I think I bought like this breakout. No, what was it? I bought it somewhere back here in like 22, 23. It was kind of disappointing. But it looks like it's setting up for another breakout. Okay. This is one I'm just going to keep an eye on. So like a lot of these stocks I'm watching, they don't have a setup yet. But I want to keep an eye on certain levels for when they do move out of range. The moves will probably be really strong, good moves. So this one's like setting up for like a triangle where it could go either way. Cheesecake Factory. The restaurant star, Jeremy Lefebvre likes this one. Probably is a good long-term holding. I mean, they seem to be very active in developing their restaurant concept. Yeah, I'm just going to keep an eye on that one. I don't want to chase it right here. But if it pulls back, it might be of interest as a long-term holding. I wish I kept on my shares I had at 40. Intuitive Surgical, similar story. That's one of those I want to buy. Cake. TPR. Okay, Raymond James Financial. That one's another breakout that I'm kind of missing. I added this one back in October to my list. Was breaking out here, but I didn't. I missed that one. However, one stock that I do have that's in financial services, Morgan Stanley. I've got that as a long-term holding. It's kind of pulled back a little bit. It's actually below where I bought it at 136. This might be a good point to buy some more, but I have the feeling that I'll probably break that line. I have a feeling I'll probably break that uptrend line, pull back some into the 120s. Okay, Sweet Green. Been very disappointed in this company. It just keeps on going down. Hopefully with earnings it turns around, but that's kind of a gamble. CDRE. CDRE. Cadre Holdings. So it's like safety equipment. Is this military? It's aerospace and defense. Just watching that one. Okay. Now I have this list of stocks that I kind of want to buy the dip on because like they're good companies and good strong long-term fundamentals. AMD, that trade's not going so well for me. But I'm still holding on to it. I think over the long term, it's probably going to be fine. American Homes for Rent, like I said, that one was kind of disappointing, but it's getting more appealing down here. Doesn't have much of a dividend yield, according to this, which is interesting. No, I think this dividend yield is wrong. They have a 30-cent dividend yield. 0.30 times 4, $1.02 divided by 34. No, that's a 3.5% dividend yield. My calculation here is wrong. So on my chart, I have like the dividend yield right there. That seems to be incorrect right now. Yeah, value-wise, this one seems kind of attractive here. I like that. I'm going to put an order in to buy that. IDT. Now this is an interesting chart. See the curl up there? IDT, what do they do? That's a payment platform. FinTech. I'm not too familiar with them from a fundamental standpoint. But then again, this is kind of like one of those middle point breakouts. Had the really big run there and then consolidating in the middle. However, enough time has passed where this looks kind of like it's more of a fresh breakout. However, not knowing too much about the fundamentals about it and seeing how kind of this kind of trades, I'm not too interested in it. I'll just put a box on it to keep an eye on it. Let's see where it goes later. SkyWest. Airline, right? Yeah, airlines are kind of pulling back right now. United's pulling back. It's funny how like the airlines, they all have really big runs, and then they turn into crappy stocks again. Like they're good for a while and then they're not good. Okay, let's take a look at Broadcom. Kind of like Marvell, this one's getting to be a little bit of a sloppy chart here on this breakout, but I'm a long-term holder of this one. Qualcomm. I'm gonna set my alerts there. Not too interested in Qualcomm right now. Okay, Texas Instruments. Hard to tell where this chart's going. What's the other one? Oh yeah, ARM. ARM and Qualcomm have a nasty patent dispute going on. I like ARM long term. I think a lot of processors are going to be made on ARM, so I've been buying the dips. Although it's kind of hard to tell right now where the overall market's headed, because if the market gets nasty, that could pull this down further back to the 130s. Okay. AMH, AVGO, Axon. Oh, this is a nice pullback. But then again, this one already had a really good run. So not unless this becomes super beat down am I going to want to buy this one. Booking Holding, I've got Expedia. That one's too pricey per share. All right, Dutch Bros, that one. Gosh, that would have been a really good buying opportunity if you bought the dip back last year when it sunk down there. Oh, you know, another one kind of like Bros is on. And this one's pulling back too. I kind of like this pullback right here. This is one I consider owning. It's pulling right back to a support area, the 200 DMA support. Okay, I'm going to make note of that one. DMA. I'll put that top of my watch list. Okay. Carrier. That was another breakout that I predicted last year. Had a good run, but it's pulling back and consolidating. I still think it's going to be a good stock once it consolidates here. All right, now Cava. This one's just pulling back after having a good run. I like this one for the long term. I've been buying up shares. Celebrite, kind of missed the boat on that one, but it's pulling back. Gonna watch it for consolidation. Put a little alert box around this. Chipotle doesn't really interest me too much anymore. I feel like it's just grown so big that I don't see where they're going to get more growth from. It's probably going to continue to be a good, decent long-term stock over long-term, but you're not going to get the same growth that it used to have. In fact, it might even have a bad couple of years or a bad couple of quarters or so with inflation and stuff going on. And, you know, there'll be some sort of a crisis that they'll have to overcome. Like a lot of companies, they have business ups and downs. All right. Let's see. Costco doesn't really interest me. It's too high. Crane. That one's high run already. CRM. If this one pulls back sub 300, that one could be interesting. All right, CSX, Railroad. Railroads do not look appealing right now, but they might be later if these charts consolidate and they shape up. Give me an alert there. CVX. I don't think oil's going to go anywhere, especially if they increase the supply by drilling. Now the Google chart, I have shares of Google, but I really don't like this little island right there. I think it's got further to fall. Goldman Sachs. I chickened out. As you can see here, I sold the shares I had in this account. Missed a lot of the move. And that's one of my problems as a trader. I don't hold on to these long-term breakouts long enough. I'm surprised that this Guidewire software took off. Could pulling back. That one could get hit pretty hard with the rest of tech if big tech is not doing so well. Nice, we looked at that one. JetBlue Airline doesn't really interest me. Move that to the other watch list. This one, probably not very exciting right now, but does have a nice dividend. He's back at 121. I'll consider buying if it has a further drop. Lamb Research. Oh, another one that I wasn't patient enough with. Sold that one too soon. But that's okay. I think with the rest of tech, it could probably pull back. I just kind of missed this right up here to 90, which would have been nice. Figuring out where to deploy cash is a problem for me because I've only got so much cash, so I can't like buy everything. Okay, McDonald's, Moody's, okay. Let's see if it ever breaks this trend. That might be interesting. Meta. Gosh, this had too good of a run. I'm not chasing it. It's another one of those middle consolidations. Yeah, not too interested in oil right now. I have the feeling that Microsoft is kind of top. Microsoft feels really toppy right here. This chart hasn't gone anywhere for a while. It'll probably move, but it's going to be really slow from here. Service now pulling back. Just going to keep an eye on that. Norfolk Southern. Okay, got my alert on that one. This is another one of those military middle consolidations. You have the downtrend break, so you could have played this downtrend break here, but now it's consolidating in the middle. And kind of like I pointed out with American Homes for Rent, that one's not very reliable right there. Oracle, I've got that in my long-term holding. That's another sloppy chart. A lot of these tech companies, they're starting to have sloppy charts here. I don't like that. Less predictable, and not only that, but a lot of times I call this stage 3 of the stock cycle. So stage 1 is where it's consolidated. Stage 2 is where you get the big run up, and then stage 3 is where it gets really choppy. Stage 4 decline is where it goes down. We might be through the choppy phase right now. Okay, Palo Alto Networks, that one's steady climbing. Damn, another breakout that I missed. Missed this breakout too. So I'm not seeing a lot of breakouts that look like they're ready to work right now. So I'm just going to kind of sit tight and wait for stocks to set up again. Man, Sweet Green was really disappointing. Shopify, missed out on that one too. A lot of good ideas, I just don't stick with them. Shopify, set an alert here, pulls back. Yeah, I already got an alert for that, okay. SP Global, I'd be interested in buying that on a pullback. Spotify, missed the boat on that one. Overall, I just don't see anything interesting to me because a lot of these charts have run up so much already. The market feels really toppy here, and I don't like that. Even Visa had a huge run here from the 250s to 350s. That's huge. Surprisingly, Valero seems to be the most interesting of the stocks today. One of the most interesting. Looks like it's setting up. Take a note on Valero. Red Rock Resorts. Yeah, this was a failed breakout. This one's heavily in debt company. Uber, this one looks like one of the better charts. I like that one. VTR. How did that one get on my list? I think this was a mistaken. No, I was watching this chart. I don't know about this. It's a healthcare related. Oh, it's a healthcare related REIT. I don't know. REITs typically don't move that much. Not very interested right now. Waste management. Not interested in it right now. Walmart. Yeah, Walmart. Disappointing during earnings. It's probably going to pull back pretty hard with the rest of the market if we have a market correction. And then there's Exxon. Okay. Let's check out some of my other holdings. So this AutoNation one, this might be a filled breakout, but I'm sticking with it because it has this long-term uptrend. So it's got a lot of momentum to it. Yeah, unfee. Ooh. This is one that I'm holding. I think this one could hit the 37 to 42 range. I'm going to hold on to it until then. IBM, I took partial profits in. I think this one could continue to run. John Deere is probably also one of the better breakouts. Okay. So I got my eye on that one. Yeah, as far as my breakouts, DraftKings, I like IBM. Although that one's getting a little bit extended. I think go further though. Deere is probably the cleanest breakout right now. And the Home Depot, it's struggling. PG, it's been struggling, but it's got this cup and handle look to it. I like that. Let's see what else. What else are we watching? Oh yeah, this was one that was breaking out before. Okay, so it's pulled back here to the zone. Okay, got an alert there. Apparel just isn't that exciting to me. No, I'm not going to play that one. Okay, time to look at my scans from Friday. IRTC. I don't know about that breakout. Let's see. Okay, watched it. SABR. Nope, not very interesting. What does Sabre do? Software technology for the travel industry. Don't like it. This is BJ Restaurants. I don't know about the restaurant industry right now. Yeah, I don't know about that. Cheesecake's probably a better bet as far as restaurants go. Like, my favorite restaurants right now are probably Sweet Green, Cava. As you say, I've been buying Cava and Cheesecake Factory. I like those stocks right now. Applied Digital, that one pulled back. Sloppy chart. Not going for it. COLM. Oh, sportswear company. Okay, that one hit a 52-week high on Friday. I'm keeping an eye on it. If it continues to go, it might have some momentum, although it's had a pretty good run up from 70 to 90. That's percentage-wise, that's huge. What's it percentage-wise? It's at 90, and it was at 75 not that long ago. That's 20%. That's been a good run. DVAX. Okay, pharmaceutical. Not that interested in this right now. FUTU is that is a Chinese stock. Not interested. That's a AEP. Utility. Yeah, see, utilities are running up. But it's weird to see these utilities kind of break out to all-time highs like that. Could be interesting. Gonna watch this one. Yeah, I see our what's VICR do? Power systems. This one may require further research. Hello Group. Oh, it's a Chinese company. Nope. GDYN. This is power software. Okay, so I'm noticing a theme here, and that's with things related to power systems. It's not really clear on what this company does. I don't know about this one. It's got a bunch of buzzwords attached to its description. energy company. Oh, it's a utility. Another utility running up. And WEC. No, not very interesting. Let me take a look at this oil company again. All right, well, I think I looked at enough stocks for today. Thanks for joining my live stream. See you next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe.